Okay, so we're on off the ball IQ right now. And again, this is a really important topic because you need to master the little things that give you that attention from coaches and scouts. When coaches and scouts see that you can, move without the ball, create space, make cuts, use screens, uh, they'll get the impression that you're a serious basketball player. So there's really three things that we're going to talk about in this video. First of all, how to create space and get open. There's a couple things that players do wrong. Next, making cuts, and last, using screens. So to start off with, let's talk a little bit about creating space. And there's really just a three-step formula to this. It's simple, but a lot of players do it wrong. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is change of pace. A lot of players, they'll run down when making a cut. Let's say a V cut, for example. They'll run down to the block and run back out, and this does absolutely nothing to get you open. You need to change your pace when you're creating space. Okay, so to do this, walk your defender down, okay, all the way down to the block or wherever you're making your cut. Walk your defender down, make contact, step over or under, whichever way you need to seal them off, bump and push. And we'll teach you how to bump and push a little bit later on, but the idea is walk down, change of pace, slow, 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 contact, explode out, okay? That's how you create space. You don't run down, run back, and try to avoid your defender. You walk down, make contact, get into them, and then push, create space, and explode out. Now, I want to talk about a quick technique for actually doing this when your defender is blocking your passing lane, okay? So all you're going to do is make contact. When you make contact and they got that arm up to block that pass, what you're going to do is put your arm over top of their arm. And we call this swimming because it's kind of like a front stroke, right? Your arm over their arm, step over them, and explode out. So your arm goes over their arm, not like too obvious, not exaggerated because the ref is going to call you, but it's perfectly legal if you do it subtly. So again, make contact. When you're making your contact, their arm is out in front. Step your arm over their arm, swim it down, push their arm down basically out of the passing lane, step over, explode out. So that's a quick technique you can take to the gym right now and use to kind of block that passing, them from stealing your pass. So next we're going to talk about the elbow push, okay? And there's something to this is kind of something that has to fly under the radar a little bit from the ref, because if you do this and exaggerate it, the ref's going to call you. But if you do it right, you're going to get away with it, and you're going to make contact and really create a lot of space for yourself instead of just struggling to get open on the wing. So what you're going to do here is you're going to obviously walk your defender down. As you're walking your defender down, when you get close, get really, really close and push your defender off using your forearm, okay? Not your hand where your arm extends fully. You don't push them off using your hand, but you just nudge them off using your forearm, okay? So this just creates a little bit more space, gets them rocking back on their heels, and kills their momentum completely, right? Because when you push back, your defender leans back, and they don't have that ability to explode off, and you're already 3 feet away from them, and you can get open and create space. So again, when you're walking them down, walk them down, get close, push off using your forearm, not your hand, and this will kind of fly under the radar. Since your arm doesn't extend fully, you just get that forearm out and explode out. So this is something that is maybe a little bit black hat or a little bit dirty, but if you get to the next level, everyone does it, and if everyone's doing it, you got to do it to keep up, all right? So again, make contact, get close, and push your defender off using your forearm, not your hand. Now, if a good offensive player does this to you and you're on the defensive end, just a quick tip here, what you can do is whenever they basically try to push you off using their forearm, hook your arm underneath their arm, okay? So hook them in so that when they push off, their arm gets caught and they can't explode out as effectively. That's just a quick tip on the defensive end. Now, let's talk a little bit about making cuts. So There's three basic cuts. I'm assuming everyone kind of knows what these are, the V cut, the L cut, and then the next one is the Reggie Miller cut. And this is a little bit more advanced. It's not totally advanced, but maybe you haven't seen or heard of it before. So the V cut and L cut, we're just going to run through quickly because obviously you've seen them before. The V cut, getting open on the wing. You are on the wing, you walk your defender down to the block, make contact, push off, and explode out just slightly closer to the ball, and it kind of forms that V. With the L cut, you're in the corner, you walk them down to the block, make contact, push off, and explode back out on a 90-degree angle. So it's real simple. I'm assuming everybody knows what these are. If you don't, I mean, it's really simple. Just ask your coach what it means because it's basic, right? So we're not going to spend a lot of time on these. What we are going to spend time on is the Reggie Miller cut, and this is to use when you're getting open on the wing against a very tough defender. Okay, so the key to this is stepping and sealing, but there's a little more to it. So when you walk your defender down and you make hard contact, or maybe you just make a shallow cut, either way, when they're still with you, what you're going to do is make really hard contact. So get on them, make contact hard, and then what you're going to do is not only do the forearm push off, but you're stepping over and sealing them, as you can see in that bottom picture. So it's almost as if you're posting them up on the wing. Okay, so you're going to step over and seal them, and then push them off using your butt, your forearm, and your shoulder, and then explode out on the wing. This will give you a little bit of space to get the ball against a really tough defender. This is more something that like Reggie Miller would do against, you know, a Bruce Bowen type, right? Who's really tough and really physical, or like a Ron Artest. And you got to get open. We've all played against those players. This is a very good tool for you to have in your arsenal against those players. So make hard contact, step over and seal as though you're posting them up, push off, and explode out. Very, very effective. So now, let's talk about scoring off screens. And I'm assuming you've learned a little bit about how to score off screens, but we're going to talk about how to use screens as well as the three main types that you're going to use. So the curl, the pop, and the fade. Now, the keys to using screens are that apply to everything, right? To every screen that you're going to come off of. First of all, you're going to read and react. You need to know where your defender is at. So if they're cheating, if they're trailing you a step behind, or if they're trailing you right on your back and really like grabbing at your shirt, you need to know where your defender is and react accordingly. Now also, you need to treat it like a cut. So you walk your defender down, change a pace, make contact, and what you do is push your defender into the screen. Okay, so push your defender into the screen and then explode out around that screen and either, you know, obviously curl, fade, read and react, and explode out accordingly. But treat it like a cut. Have change of pace, have contact, put them into the screen, and then use the screen. Next, you're going to come off shoulder to hip, especially on the curl. You'll see this, you got to go shoulder to hip, so you have to be so low and so tight that your shoulder touches the screener's hip. So just get really, really low when you come off screens. So first, we're going to talk about the curl, and you're going to use this when your defender is trailing tight on your back. Okay, so they're on your back, you got them on the wing or on the corner, wherever, and you're going to come off the screen, they're right behind you, right? So you walk them down, make contact, and then explode out before you run at the screen. So before you even run at the screen, you're going to walk them down, change a pace, kind of fake them, make contact, push off, and explode out at the screen. When you get to the screen, you're going to cut the corner, shoulder to hip, like we talked about, as low and as tight as you, as tight as you possibly can. So cut the corner, shoulder to hip, low and tight, really squeeze around the corner, curl tight around the screen, and you're going to receive the pass and finish at either the rim or you're going to pull up. But usually you're going to take this all the way to the rim and finish at the rim for either a dunk or a layup or a floater. So again, you use this when your defender's trailing tight on your back, walk down, contact, explode out, cut the corner, shoulder to hip, curl tight around the screen, and finish at the rim. Really, really simple. Next is the pop, and this is for shooters primarily, which you obviously will be after prolific shooting. You're going to use this when your defender's trailing a step or two behind you. You're going to walk down, make contact, explode out towards the screen like we talked about, and then instead of curling around the corner, when your defender is trailing a step or two behind you, you've got a little more space. So you're going to cut the corner flat, okay? Instead of curling around, you're going to go flat off the screen. Obviously get really tight to the screen to cut off the defender, but come off flat and come off towards the passer. And what you're going to do is ideally you're going to pop out at the 3-point line, catch the ball, and shoot it, okay? Whether this is 15 feet, 20 feet, 25 feet for some players, doesn't matter. You're going to come off flat, recognize your defender is a step or two behind you, so you got some space, run them into the screen, and come off flat looking to shoot. Okay, so again, pretty simple. This is for shooters, and make sure that you use it when your defender is trailing a step or two behind you, and release the ball quickly on this. Okay, do not let them kind of deter you from shooting. Release it right away and get your shot off. Next is the fade. This is for when your defender obviously is cheating in front of the screen, as you can see in the top picture. If you walk down, make contact, explode out, and your defender comes off trying to run in front of the screen to, cut off your angle and meet you on the other side of the screen, all you're going to do is basically use it as a reverse screen. So you're going to explode out, recognize the cheat, so recognize that your defenders run in front of the screen, stop, pivot back flat behind the screen, and basically catch your defender on the other side. So you're just going to recognize that they cheated, pivot back flat behind the screen, look for a skip pass, passer skips it over top of the screen towards you, your defender is caught on the other side of the screen, and you shoot the basketball as fast as you can. Okay, so it's really, really simple. That's all there is to it. The pop, the curl, and the fade. Recognize where your defender is, read and react, use change of pace, and you'll get open around screens. So again, that's really all there is to it. Getting open, making cuts, and using screens. When you can do these things, you will be deadly off the ball, and you'll be able to score a lot without the ball. And a lot of this is from, I shouldn't say a lot of it, but some of it is from the Scoring Secrets training program, where you can also find, if you're interested, we talk about a few more opportunities that you can use on the court to look for scoring opportunities. But again, this is prolific shooting, so we wanted to cover the stuff that pertains to shooting specifically, but to become more of a well-rounded scorer, you can go ahead and take a look at the Scoring Secrets Scoring Without the Ball module, and you'll see 3 very specific kind of opportunities on the court that you can look at. But again, off the ball IQ, develop that and master those little things, moving without the ball, how to use screens, how to make cuts, that really give you attention from coaches and scouts, and you will be very, very, very successful. So make sure you're going through the prolific shooting program to develop that shooting stroke so that when you come off the screens, you can stop, pop, and knock down shots at will. All right, so thanks again for watching this. I hope you got a lot out of it, and I will talk to you again soon.